Welcome to the roundtable of groundbreakers. I'm Zheng Chunying, and we know that the private economy, the driving force of high-quality development. In the third plenary session of the 20th CPC National Congress, there have been new developments and new reform measures, and so what opportunities will they bring to China's private economy, and what directions do they point for China's economy? So we're going to delve into a discussion on this topic, and we have with us Guo Liyan, Deputy Director from the Institute of Economic Research of the Chinese Academy of Macroeconomic Research, Mr. He Ting, CEO of Immunopharm Technology, Zhang Ning, Vice President of Pony AI, and Mr. Zhang Yiling, Chairman of Langwood MedTech. Thank you very much for coming. As we have mentioned earlier, in the decisions of the third plenary session, there were new decisions and new policies on the private economy. And what do you make? What significance do you make of these new decisions? I believe that it focused on deepening reforms and promoting a higher level of openness, aiming to provide ongoing internal motivation for private business. And first, a market economy is a law-based economy. The law supporting private businesses is moving into the legislative phase. Additionally, the session emphasized building a high-level socialist market economy with the key focus on improving the fundamental system of the market economy, such as property rights protection, fair market access, information disclosure. As we know, when an enterprise evolves from setup to market survival and competition, and also there is this link of perhaps investment exits, and we need to make sure that we have a system that takes all the enterprises as equals. And also in terms of market entry, we need to improve the system of market entry. At the same time, we need to provide a better system and better policy for new enterprises coming into this market. We need to optimize the business market for all the enterprises wishing to become part of the market. We need to provide a equal and more vital and vibrant environment. So I believe this is the wish that we have seen described in the decisions and in a third plenary session. We saw that we support able enterprises from the private sector to get engaged in key technological breakthroughs. What significance do you make of this description? Well, we are a company in the autonomous driving industry called Pony.ai. We are dedicated to providing safe, reliable, efficient, and comfortable autonomous driving services for transportation and logistics worldwide. When it comes to autonomous driving, it's not just about the single vehicle, it's about the entire transportation system. The decision is huge for us. It means that we can deeply engage in building the broader transportation infrastructure. Private companies aren't just playing a supportive role. They can even take the lead, and some capable private enterprises might even handle key breakthroughs in core technologies. So this is just like in our field, in the field of autonomous driving, we can offer safe and reliable transportation services, including logistics. And beyond the technology, there are also regulatory challenges related to market access. Our experience has been that we are not only welcomed and encouraged to join those regulatory bodies, and over the past few years, actually, no matter it is the national or local government or other regulatory bodies, and we have been taking measures to support this environment. So this alignment from the very beginning has allowed us to grow in sync with industry developments and regulatory requirements. And Pony AI's growth over the past 7 to 8 years mirrors China's rapid rise in the autonomous driving industry during this period. We've seen the government's determination and the strategic support from all levels of government and regulatory bodies. So this, beyond any doubt, is a great inspiration so that we have to dedicate to this great endeavor. So Beijing Langwood Valley is a national level little giant specializing in AI and surgical robots for orthopedics, offering comprehensive solutions, and we primarily provide hospitals with AI-assisted diagnostic and screening tools, 3D surgical planning, 3D printing systems, and full process solutions for surgical robots and rehabilitation. Orthopedic patients are on the rise, both in China and globally. In China alone, there are over 500 million patients with orthopedic conditions, and 70 to 80% of the people over 60 years old have these issues. And Langwood Valley offers AI-assisted surgical robot systems that can diagnose and design surgical plans. During surgery, our robots can execute procedures with precision under 1 millimeter. Reducing surgical times from 3 hours in the past to just 20 to 30 minutes at present. Post-operative recovery has also improved, with patients able to walk on the same day and be discharged from the hospital the next day, significantly enhancing their quality of life. So we know that the private enterprises, they are able to take on significant national strategies. In a smart surgical robot industry, we are leading the digital transformation of orthopedics field. More medical institutions, research institutes, and government departments are introducing policies to support our work, especially in Beijing. So this city has, for example, implemented 32 measures to promote the rapid adoption of innovative medical devices in hospitals, which allows people to benefit from technological advances more quickly. So we have personally benefited from these policies, and we believe this is an opportunity. So this is what we have been working towards in recent years. At Immunopharm Technology, we focus on developing gene and cell therapies for treating tumors using cutting-edge technologies. Over the past decade, we have been very fortunate to witness and be part of the development of China's gene and cell therapy sector, which has grown from virtually nothing to what it is today. We have built a couple of products and tools for gene and cell therapies from scratch and have developed several products targeting different types of cancer. We have seen that reforms in the pharmaceutical industry have been going on for quite some time, and the new direction set by the third plenary session feels like it's taking these efforts to the next level. As the technology for neural cell therapies rapidly evolves, our regulatory authorities, like the National Medical Products Administration, have been rolling out guidelines and principles at an unprecedented pace, and this has allowed us to conduct new drug developments in an orderly fashion. We are about to launch our first independently developed drug for treating advanced situations, and we have already obtained very promising clinical trial data. We believe that this drug has the potential to offer new treatment options for a large number of cancer patients in China. In the new era, we believe that we will channel more resources to support the drug development against new types of cancer. I believe this marks a new stage of growth for the entire treatment field, and we need to be ready to embrace such trend. So this is a very inspirational news, and I can see that technology truly benefits people. And yes, this is a new quality of productive forces, and you can see that these enterprises, they are just very focused and committed to this new developments, and they are also very concerned about an environment that is a level playing field. Well, you have just mentioned one buzzword, and we have been hearing this quite recently and quite often recently. That is the new quality productive forces, and all the three entrepreneurs, they represent the high-tech industry in China. So may I ask you, what is your understanding about this term, and what role does it play in the China's economy? A new quality productive force, I believe it involves high technology, high efficiency, and high quality. It's a new form of productivity. I believe this is a great roundtable. We have gathered entrepreneurs to sit down to bring more substantial interpretation about this concept of new quality productive forces. So it's new because they share one thing in common. All these enterprises, they are using digital and smart technologies and genome technologies. These are advanced, cutting-edge technologies to transform the traditional industries, to empower traditional industries, and to improve the livelihood. Another characteristic, as was mentioned by those entrepreneurs, their enterprises are a platform to gather talents across the globe, and actually, people are the most important assets of all the enterprises. And these enterprises, they are recruiting graduates from both home and abroad, and they are cultivating and fostering teams to engage in their business. So in this process, they are cultivating a lot of elements for innovation, and this is actually one pathway towards new quality of productive forces. And there's another characteristic, which is the important breakthroughs of elements. And with the supportive elements and with the gigantic amount of markets here we have in China, and these innovative enterprises, they represent the new driving momentum. So they can take the lead both in China and in the world to harvest those application scenarios. But actually, from a micro perspective, our new productive force is reflected in making human cells more intelligent. Before the advance of gene and cell therapies, no drug could fundamentally alter the biological characteristics of cells at their core. But today, we can introduce an artificially designed gene, almost like embedding artificial intelligence into the cells. And this new gene is entirely designed from scratch, based on our deep understanding of drug development to give cells a function they never had before. In essence, we are equipping cells with a new quality productive force. Well, Mr. Guo's in-depth explanation just now was really thorough. But when our company first heard about new quality productive force, we didn't have that level of clarity. However, our initial understanding still aligned perfectly with what our company is doing. At Pony AI, we broke it down simply. New represents innovation, productive reflects high-quality experience and services, and forces aligns with our pursuit of improved efficiency. So, in the large-scale transportation sector that we operate in, the core issues we are addressing are human mobility and logistics, both of which are fundamentally about improving productivity. Logistics costs still make up a significant portion of China's national economy. In a vast country like China, with extensive exchanges of goods and resources from the West and the East, the geographical separation necessitates significant investment in transportation infrastructure. Additionally, with China's massive population, nearly 20 cities have a population exceeding 10 million, and many more have over 1 million people. That means mobility is a critical issue that touches everybody's life. So our mission is to provide the public with higher quality, more efficient transportation and logistics services. And we're doing just that, and we're using innovation to lead this effort, and developing autonomous driving, especially the execution of driverless technology. It's a key part of intelligent industry. Langwood Valley has always been one of Beijing's leading companies in representing new productive forces, and particularly as the innovative medical device company. Our goal has been to use AI and robotic technology to reshape the entire orthopedic process, from screening and diagnosis to treatment, surgery, and rehabilitation. We all know that China has over 500 million orthopedic patients, yet only 13,000 registered orthopedic doctors. This ratio is challenging not just in China but also globally. having 13,000 doctors to serve such a vast number of patients is far from sufficient in terms of efficiency. Additionally, the traditional training process for doctors is very lengthy. Medical students have to complete undergraduate, graduate, and doctorate studies, and then that is followed by becoming a doctor. For an attending physician to reach the level of associate chief physician and be able to perform major surgeries, it typically takes around 20 years of training. The same goes in America, even if you graduate from Harvard Medical School. So that means it takes over 20 years to train a skilled doctor. Even in the United States, the lengthy training process is simply not enough to meet the public's growing demand for high-quality medical resources. So this is what we have been focused. Well, I believe that the innovative development of technology is not something that can be done overnight, and it takes time. You need to put in a lot of investment. So that brings us to our next keyword or buzzword in the third plenary session. It was mentioned to further develop patient capital. This is not a new term. We have seen it frequently in the other Politburo meetings at the central level. So I want to ask you, Ms. Guo, so what is your take on patient capital? So we have heard the vivid interpretation by these three entrepreneurs on how technological innovation is leading industrial innovation and how that also serves the improvement of livelihood. So for technological innovation to walk out of labs and walk into the industry, it's actually a very difficult process. It has to go through a lot of hurdles and breakthroughs, and you need to have strategic vision and strategic capital to accompany those entrepreneurs. And I believe that all the entrepreneurs sitting here can feel strongly about it. And you must have encountered a lot of such capital. So you need a strategic capital that is not nearsighted. You need some strategic capital that can accompany you with your vision on your journey moving towards a long-term future. So from international experience, we have seen this patient capital embraced by private equity and venture capitals, and the investing some key enterprises. Oftentimes we see patient capital from the pension fund, from some national fund powered by the government, and there is also corporate annuity and public fund, because this capital, they are more patient in nurturing a small enterprise into big ones. But we hope that there are more patient capital from across the society and even from overseas, because everybody is very optimistic about the Chinese government, and we want this patient capital to empower the enterprises which can help transform some of the traditional industries so they can grow from small to big and survive those challenges and hurdles, and I believe that they will be paid off well at the end of the day. I think this is a very good analog, because venture capital and patient capital can truly nurture these enterprises from small to big. It's just like sowing a seed. Eventually, you have to be there for the seed to grow into a tree. And behind this patience is courage, and behind courage is confidence. This confidence derives from our understanding about the field, and also it cannot go without the support of the government. So I want to ask you, so what do you think are the best policies that can cultivate patient capital? So let me share a bit first. Your analogy of a seed growing into a towering tree is particularly fitting for our biopharmaceutical industry. And there's a saying in our field that it takes 10 years and $1 billion to develop a truly innovative drug, like a first in-class new drug in China. So this process typically requires immense patience and investment. Otherwise, you cannot succeed. So patient capital is exactly what our industry truly needs, and it's also a term that I personally like. In the current domestic capital market, the importance of patient capital cannot be overstated. Over the past decade, we've encountered both patient and impatient investors. As a student-based startup, all our research and development investments have come from capital. Well, we haven't quite spent $1 billion. We have certainly learned the value of patience in this industry. So, in this context, I believe that the regulatory bodies really need to step up in supporting patient capital, particularly by adjusting evaluation and incentive terms. And when we just started, there were patient capitals that were there for 3 to 5 years, and now it's getting longer. But not so many of you have noticed that what's equally important is the tolerance towards mistakes. And just when a kid is growing up, there are mistakes that he makes. And not every child gets into a top university, and not every seed grows into a towering tree. From a capital perspective, it's crucial to be patient with ventures that may not be immediately successful or that encounter some setbacks. And if the expectation in venture capital is that a single failure means the fund manager is at fault and must be held accountable, then that is not patient capital. Such a mindset would only lead to investment in near-ready and pre-IPO ventures that are guaranteed to success. So in the field of technological innovation, we have to accept failure, and we have to be tolerant for failures. So you need to have a balance between risk and returns, and we sincerely hope that more patient capital can be there for the cultivation and growth of unicorns. And those unicorns, the startups, they are in this high-tech industry, hardcore technology, but on the other hand, there are also a lot of uncertainties that they face. So these are very important for the enterprises, and we need people to channel in resources. And for those startups, we are driven by a belief and a mission to prove that we can succeed. However, this journey inevitably involves risks, which is why we need patient capital that is willing to support us through the tough times. In sectors such as autonomous driving, $1 billion is just the starting point. It may take tens of billions of dollars and a decade-long cycle before any returns can be recouped or harvested. So we need people to believe in our industry and believe in our ability to achieve this, not just in technology, but also in China's inclusive system that allows the market to embrace private enterprises in exploring and developing such a massive market. So I need people to believe that autonomous driving can become a reality. I need the capital to believe in this together with us. This is something that can truly push us ahead. Well, I believe for enterprises and for the private economy in general, the power of belief is not an abstract one. It's a specific and substantial one that can be translated into new systems and new policies. Well, patient capital is absolutely crucial for tech innovation. We all know that an innovative company is doing something that has never been done before. The reason for starting a business is twofold. First, to create a new venture, and second, to create the entire new industry. And this means that the industry didn't exist in the past. Through technological innovation, we've developed a groundbreaking product that eventually leads to the creation of a whole new sector. So this takes time. And during this process, patient capital becomes even more vital. With the support of patient capital, you can continue your R&D, refine your products, and conduct clinical trials or market research. Once you have the patient capital, you can effectively promote and bring your product to the market. So we need the patient capital to be on our side. So no matter it is the private economy or the macroeconomy, I believe they go hand in hand. So I want to ask you, Ms. Guo, what is your take on China's economic developments in the second half of the year? Well, I believe there are three pillars that we need to pay attention to right now. The macroeconomy is picking up. We need to consolidate this trend, and one very important pillar, I believe, is new development momentums, new driving forces. And the entrepreneurs sitting here, the development momentum of the market segment that they represent is crucial. In the first half of the year, we have seen equipment manufacturing, in particular, some new development momentums in high-tech industry, just unprecedented, both in terms of their growth speed in revenue and also the revenue of enterprises above designated sites. So they are playing an important role in fostering new development momentum. So we need to consolidate these momentums. Everybody is very familiar with the new three sectors, but we hope there are more sectors that are emerging so that these driving forces, they can take the lead of China's economy. Only in so doing can we truly consolidate the momentum of growth. And if we look across this whole year, we need to have more support from a policy perspective. You are in businesses of health and logistics and mobility, and this, I believe, are very important. In China, we are very much focused on some new industries, and starting from this year, for a couple of years, and we will have in place some long-term treasury bond, which will support China's overall economic development. And I believe this will also involve some major projects which can help us strengthen the weak links, and in infrastructure and in transportation, we can expect a lot of such support. The government bond can drive the investment from the private sector, from across the society, and even foreign investment, so that we can truly build a industrial structure very quickly. And also there is one thing that is very much related to the industries that you are running, that is the large-scale equipment upgrading and the replacement of old consumer goods with new ones. So these have the potential of revitalizing the virtuous cycle between consumption and supply, and all you three represent the supply side. So we believe we need to improve the quality of our offerings with better technology so that we can stimulate consumption. And when consumption rises, it will have a positive feedback towards the production and supply side. So this is a very virtuous cycle. So no matter it is the health service or transportation and mobility services, if we have the support from the policy perspective, I believe that we have every confidence to have a successful year at the end of this year, because we have the data to support our projection. And we hope that there's not just the improvement in terms of quantity, we hope that the industrial transformation can accelerate. Some of the traditional industries, they will generate some new business models, such that we can trigger new employment opportunities and improve the income of all the consumers, and this will accelerate the cycle of all the industries across the board. So I believe we need to work together as one. I mean, all the entrepreneurs and all those watching this program right now, if we have the confidence and if we believe in what we do, and we can truly make a great difference. I believe that all of you present here today are indeed key players at the microeconomic level. So how do you view the broader macroeconomic trend? And in this context, what development plans do you have for your companies going forward? Well, we believe there is great prospects going forward, especially in the transportation sector. People are increasingly purchasing high-quality travel experiences. For us, it's not just about providing a basic transportation service. We are aimed at 10 times of the security and safety level, and that means we can reduce the accidents rate by 90%, which in turn would help reduce traffic congestion. So this improvement in commuting efficiency would enhance overall social productivity. On the other hand, by making travel a more enjoyable experience, we can foster a greater desire for people to get out and about, which in turn boosts economic vitality. So whenever we look at the national level or the local level, the focus is clearly on economic development. So if you look at a nationwide perspective, we have confidence in the government's determination to revitalize and improve the economy, and we believe they will succeed. And from the standpoint of our industry, orthopedics is a critical field that directly impacts the nation's health and well-being. People's desire for a better quality of life is strong, and the demand for higher quality medical services is immense. However, the availability of top-tier medical resources is still quite limited. For example, we only have a few hundred high-quality doctors in Beijing, but on the other hand, we have hundreds of millions of patients. So we need to improve our medical services, and we need to have good doctors and successful surgeries. This will bring about good quality of life to our people. Although in the short term, we are not able to cultivate a great number of very excellent doctors, but we can use AI and we can use robots and other creative and innovative technologies to empower this industry, empower the medical services and the capabilities of our doctors. And they can truly bring about substantial and real services on the clinic surgeries and in their operations. And we have seen a great number of doctors in Beijing who are traveling to county-level hospitals, but they do not make that many visits, and they're not able to fundamentally solve the medical problems at the grassroots. But once you have our technology, your ability is further enhanced, and we hope that in the future our robots can mobilize and leverage their capabilities to help those doctors think and do better surgeries. So in the future, we can expect a lot of digital doctors, and they can truly help our doctors to perform surgeries with the precision and skills of a top specialist. And I believe this is also very important for the whole industry. For the auto industry, for example, we have similar situations because it involves many different supply chains and industries, and also we need to put in place, for example, new technologies, AI algorithms, control systems, servo motors, sensors, and more. Additionally, the tools and power systems for surgeries, orthopedic implants, and research conducted in academic institutions all play a role. The rise of surgical robots, especially orthopedic surgical robots, has the potential to stimulate growth across these sectors and driving the development of around a dozen related industries. In Beijing, we have a unique advantage. The city is the hub for talent, and we are well positioned to lead in this field. And with continued government support, the development of enterprises will only get better, leading to stronger economic growth. This, in turn, will help consolidate and grow the entire supply chain here in Beijing, reinforcing the city's role as a center for innovation. Ultimately, this will allow us to achieve the true made in China and created by China transformation. So we are eagerly looking forward to the implementation of more innovative policies, where we have made significant progress in our research and development and have already helped many patients. But China still faces the challenge of over 4 million new cancer diagnosed each year. This puts enormous pressure on the healthcare system to treat these newly diagnosed patients, especially as the incidence of cancer continues to rise. Of course, part of this increase is due to the growing life expectancy in our country, as cancer is often an age-related disease. But we hope that we can not just develop or deliver one or two new drugs, and we hope that we can expand our efforts to develop treatment for more types of cancer. We aim to increase our coverage from thousands to tens of thousands and eventually to even more patients. So relying solely on the revenue from one successful drug to fund the development of the next drug would be too slow, and this will also be a arduous process. So this is where the importance of patient capital pitches in. Long-term government bonds and other deep reforms, they can come into play as well, because these initiatives can have profound and lasting positive impacts on our industry. I am not only very hopeful, but also confident that under this new environment, we will see a tremendous opportunity for the growth and success of China's innovative and biopharmaceutical industries, and we are poised for a significant leap forward. So I'm also looking forward to what you have said, and we have talked a lot today about the significance of these reforms, and I believe they have a dual impact. On one hand, they hold great economic value. They can empower all the enterprises and bring greater opportunities, but equally important, they carry a profound social significance. These reforms can enhance the well-being of the population. They can provide every consumer and citizen with more convenient and higher quality services and experiences, and ultimately we will achieve a better tomorrow for higher quality of life. And thank you very much for your presence at our program. Thank you.